All right, good morning, everybody. Let's quickly do our trade plan here. So looking at last night, we said holding above 97. We were looking for 20 and 47. The 20 target has been hit. We do have to raise this up a little bit. We'll put that at 20. And then we'll say 47 for that one. And then probably around, I'd say like 55 where that extension is. And then holding below levels are the same. Holding below 97, we go for a value retrace back to 75 and 56. You do have a P-shaped profile, but it's holding inside of yesterday's value. So I would treat this more as a D-shape overlap. Similar to how NASDAQ is here. So same thing with NASDAQ. We do have to raise this upper level to the value high, so 248. And then we'll raise our targets a little bit here. 350, and then 446. Everything else is the same. The same thing here, you're treating this like a D-shape overlap of yesterday's value. So the trade plan is nearly identical to yesterday morning. So keep an eye on that value low coming up at 113. Same level we watched yesterday. And then around 97 for ES. Now ES, you could argue it's kind of a failure to rotate if it bounces off this value low here. So keep an eye out for that. So that'd be around like 7,010. But other than that, it looks like it is a kind of a choppy overlap. Still hanging out right around that same FOMC level. So we're just barely above that FOMC high right now. Sitting on VWAP as well. Keep an eye on VWAP at 13. That's kind of that same level for the failure to rotate. If it stays above VWAP, you are failing to rotate lower. Alright, so far you are trying to press into this VWAP here, not seeing a lot of buy pressure off of that VWAP. Liquidity is pretty low. We had very good liquidity before the FOMC. It was like 60 to 90 contracts per tick. Some of the best we've seen recently. And now we had all the earnings and the FOMC, and now it's a little bit low. Keep an eye on this 113 level on NASDAQ. Holding below that, you are pushing lower value. Still have a little bit more to go down here on ES. 97 is the key level. Just a little bit higher on that overlap. And like I said, you could argue it's a P shape, but because you're overlapping inside of yesterday's value, you would basically treat this as a rotation anyway. So taking a look at all of the earnings reactions so far, we do have more earnings later today. I think it's what, Apple and I think Amazon. But so far, Microsoft down pretty hard. Facebook is... Let me put this, why is it on the 1 minute? Let's go to the 30 minute. There we go. Facebook is up, Microsoft down. Tesla, not really seeing a major reaction. Down a little bit. Nvidia is up a little bit. No earnings on that one, just a reaction. Netflix down. So it's kind of a mixed bag, honestly. We'll see how the Apple earnings come out. I think Apple and... Is it Amazon? No, Amazon's not coming out yet. What was it? It was Apple and something else. It was none of the big ones, but it's Apple and something else that's pretty big. All right, losing 113 here on NASDAQ, getting pretty bearish. Good morning, we're going to Tachi Scott, Future. Here is the trade plan for you guys. Kosa, Banana, Igor, Julio, Morris, Roman, Greg, Leo, Orion, Larry. Good morning, Ken. VQ, Ike. Marcel, Lubomir, Fernando, Estevan, Mr. B, Adam. Good morning, JC, Tamer, Brian. Flory, Charlie, Suzanne, Music. Good morning, Angelo, Ronaldo, Darius, AT, Trevor, Jose. Good morning, Fable, Ali, Max, Chuck, and eBay. Good morning, everybody. Okay, back into that FOMC range. Keep an eye on that 92, which is almost the same level as the value level. The value level is actually 97. That's the largest drop on Microsoft since COVID. And here comes that value retrace target on ES back to 97. Very strong sell-off on NASDAQ, probably mostly due to Microsoft, the other tech companies as well. Oil having a very strong day, as well as the other commodities. The commodities market is on fire right now. Gold hitting our 5,600 target. Silver breaking our 117. We don't have a target on silver until 133. And then oil, we haven't actually looked at oil recently. This we could probably honestly just extend. Looks like there's not a whole lot holding oil back until it gets back to like 72 to 74. The commodity's still doing really good. Commodities are, well, for the most part, priced in dollars, right? So when the dollar does poorly, they can do much better. They typically have a inverse correlation. No, I didn't look into the earnings too much, but I'm assuming based on what I saw, based on the report, that their guidance has to be pretty bad because all of the companies yesterday uh, pretty much beat their earnings and their revenue. I forget, I think it was Tesla, I think missed on revenue. One of them missed on like one thing, but everything else beat. But they still went down, so I'm guessing the guidance was bad. Still trading right inside that FOMC range. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Rich. Finishing the retrace here on ES, still hanging out inside that FOMC range. And here is that 97. So now the complete retrace of yesterday is done. So now we have the overnight low, possibly around 85. Then you have more value at 75 and 55. Now, if you did consider today a P-shape, it would obviously be a P-shape failure now, because you started out like this, and then you lost that value low, which is why I said we're not considering today a P-shape, because it was basically just going back into that retrace anyway. And when a P-shape fails, if it turns into, if it starts finding a lot of value on the low, then it turns into a capital B, right? If it kind of goes back and forth and finds a lot of value here, it just turns into a D shape anyway. So the more neutral shift would be turning into a D shape. The more bearish shift would be turning into a capital B, because that means they're very bottom heavy. They're finding a lot of value on the downside. A very bearish move so far. Google selling off, Nvidia giving up all of its gains, Microsoft recovering a little bit, still possibly a bear flag into VWAP, Amazon selling, Apple selling, Tesla selling, Facebook bouncing a little bit. Not looking too good. Pretty red open. Facebook like the only one holding up. Overnight low target taken out, 75 target coming up, and then 55 is next. I'm actually going to have to increase our scale here. It's moving way too fast. It's doing that thing again where it doesn't want to load. Let me see if I can fix it. We took out the FOMC levels. Keep an eye on that 97 level. I might have to restart Addis here. There's a little bug sometimes when you try to change the scale. It messes up the historical data. Yeah, give me a second. Let me restart Addis. Getting a little bug. Yeah, it's a little bug when you try to change the scale. If it's something like this is happening, where it's moving very quickly and the data is just kind of flooding in, it will bug it out. I might have made a mistake trying to restart it during a time like this, unfortunately. I'll keep it on my trading view charts for now. You got the same bug. Yeah, it's a bug that happens when it's like really fast. There's just too many orders coming in. I did something I tell you guys never to do. You never want to restart your platforms or like re-log into a broker when the markets are moving very quickly. Because it does stuff like this where it takes like a really long time to load. So bouncing off that 75 level for now. We still have one target to the downside, which is 56. The big names are really driving the market right now. I mean, they always are, but some days more than others. Today, they are definitely driving the market. So keep an eye on VWAP. If they do try to bounce, they're all going to run into VWAP. Is it still loading? It's slowly coming back. Yeah, this right here is the prime reason why you don't do what I did. Don't try to restart your platform when it's going nuts. Looks like my Addis is okay. It's not connecting to my Apex data. Let me see. Oh, there we go. It's just kind of lagged. All right, unfortunately, because I restarted the platform like an idiot, my charts are probably gonna be a little messed up now. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna treat it like a Momo Monday for now until it slows down, and then we'll try to refresh our charts. Yeah, I know the feed's having issues too, but usually when the feed is having issues, you'll be semi-okay. Sometimes, but then if you try to restart, you just like break it even further. And that's what I did. I restarted. It's like TradeVate. If TradeVate's having issues, you don't want to log out and log back in because that's what everybody's doing. You just get stuck in a queue. It's all good. You guys just get to see what my other charts look like. This is the chart that I use on my other monitor all the time. If you just click the same time frame setting, it gets rid of the gap. I haven't tried that. Let me see. That's a good idea. So if you just go back to 30-minute, you mean? That might fix the bug normally, but it might not fix the bug when there's a data issue. Yeah, so right now it's a data issue. So what you said is actually a good idea to fix the bug if it's just normally happening. Unfortunately, I had the bug and I have a data issue. Yeah, exactly. It's all good. We can look at these charts. Right now, we are bouncing off the value low of Monday. If it loses that, you go back to the value of Friday, which is 56 and 37. So NASDAQ, I actually have to extend our targets. Trade plan is already completed on NASDAQ. Let me go ahead and do that now. New targets are 779 and 669. That is the value low of Monday and the value low of Friday. You don't need an extension on ES. We still have a target at 56 and then down to 37. Oh yeah, I keep going back to this chart and it's bugged. Let me go back to my other charts here. Couple of 5-minute pivots trying to form here, so a little bit of support trying to come in. Yeah, Chuck, it's the same way you analyze every level. When it gets down to like a value level or it gets up to a value level, you just have to see if it's being protected, if it's being respected. Do they actually care that that level is there? Like right now, you could clearly say they do care that there is a level at 75 because it's damn near the bottom to the tick. Now, is that level going to be strong enough to completely flip the day? You just never know. Where is my price line? I'm missing my price line. There it is. Little bull div here, possibly into the trail. Same way I always talk about with the trail when you have any bottom sweeps or bull divs or any reason to look for a bottom there. You always want to target the trail first and then see if it's actually a strong break. You want a Chevy? You want a Scooby? Yeah, all the indicators are included in Discord. Discord is basically the all-in-one package. If I made it, you guys have access to it. Basically, you have access to tutoring, you have access to indicators, bots, all my teaching stuff in Discord, the live stream throughout the day, etc. Unless it's been like archived, like something we just don't use anymore, you guys have access to it. That pivot is trying to form here, but no buy pressure just yet. A little bit of a tweezer bottom. If you guys remember, I talked about this on, I think it was Tuesday. It might have been Tuesday or Monday. I talked about how when you have these trends like this, it's a little bit scary because it leaves a lot of untested value. So like we have this giant chunk right here that only got tested with that gap. Then we have this entire tail right here that hasn't been tested. So when you start getting some catalyst, some reason to go down, the targets are extremely obvious. This possibly could be turning into a rollover top on a higher time frame. This would be the sweep. That would be the lower high. Want a rider? There's the VWAP test I was talking about. So you tested VWAP on Apple, sold. Tested VWAP on Facebook, sold. VWAP on NVIDIA, sold. A little bit of a trap on NVIDIA. Did not get to VWAP. Got to VWAP on Netflix, sold. No VWAP on Google, none on Tesla, none on Amazon. None on Microsoft. So bear flags in a VWAP basically all around. If you guys are just coming in, I'm watching my TradingView charts right now because Addis is having a little bit of a data issue. And I also had a bug on my charts that kind of broke my charts a little bit. Oh yeah, you can't see the VWAP on this chart. Let me put it on here so you guys can see it. Those are the pivots I always talk about. So blue candles and orange candles are the pivots. Talk about them in the third video in the Apex series. That is a nasty drop on Google. Google is just basically diagonal here. Just straight down. How are the sectors doing? Tech sector is really bad. It's mostly just tech. That is not a good sign for the buyers that we put in a pivot and it just instantly broke through it. That's what we call a stair-stepping pivot. Where they tried to find a little bit of a support but just instantly took it out. I appreciate that, Ranger. What's going on with Palantir? I didn't see it. Is it down a lot? I mean, Palantir is just, it's on a disgusting run, so any pullback is warranted. It's up like 2,000% or something crazy off the lows. Yeah, it's like 3,000%. Nice little 30x off the lows. Here is that next target, by the way. 55 and nearly our 37 target. One minute pivot trying to act like a bottom here. We'll see if it can hold. I also don't have my EMA on. Here we go. You are a little bit outside fair value here. 62 would be fair value on ES based on the current volatility. 854 on NASDAQ, so we're a little bit extended. Do we have any 10 o'clock data today? Let me see. Factory orders 2.7 or 1.7. Wholesale inventory is 0.2 as expected. We had a little bit of data come out at 8:30, but nothing high impact. And Trump is speaking after the close today. Doesn't say on what, just says at the White House. A little bit of after hours volatility today. We have earnings, and then we have Trump speaking as well. They're trying to bounce back to VWAP again. So keep an eye on the trails and then keep an eye on VWAP just above the trails. All the big names, I mean. Index is still holding below the aggressive average here, so trading below the aggressive average every single candle since the open. Pretty crazy here. I mean, I don't even have the delta right now. I could look at it on Addis, but you can just tell without even looking at the delta that there is just no consistent buy pressure coming in. One thing to keep an eye on is the single prints that will most likely be made going back to the 60s. Yeah, there's just no consistent bullish delta nodes. We're trying to recover. It's pretty old value, but it's Friday's value. So if this is the low of day, which I'm not saying it is, but worst case scenario for the sellers, if this is the low of day, that will be an incomplete auction, showing that this value is very bullish, and it possibly could cause a little shift back up. Yeah, below Friday's value, this is extremely weak. That was the gap down. I forget what the headline was. I think it was like a tariff headline or something. Oh, sorry, I was muted. I don't know how I was muted. I was saying halfway through this candle, keep an eye on the 30-minute close. 30-minute close will create single prints going back to 63 if it does close like this. I was saying I'm just putting my chart right here so we can see the tapes, because we don't need to rely on historical data for the tapes. We can see the live data coming in. Momentum starting to cool off on the sell side here. A lot of buyers on the mid 40s, which is basically where that level is. Which I do need to update our levels here. So next level is 37 and then 06. What caused the sell-off this morning? Just bad earnings. The reaction from all the earnings yesterday is not looking too good. Well, funny enough, it was good earnings. They had good earnings. They beat revenue. But they must have had, like, bad guidance or something, because the reaction is really bad. There was no direct headline, like, from today. It's mostly just the earnings. I think it's also the commodities market is still absolutely on fire. So you're just seeing a little bit of a rotation out of equities into commodities. People want to trade what's hot. And we have oil, gold, silver, even like copper, like all the other commodities. Still doing really well. Ignore this profile, by the way. This profile is not accurate because our data got messed up. We're mainly just looking at the single print area, which I think is accurate. That looks fine. Let me see. It should go to 65. Yeah, it's pretty much, yep. That's pretty accurate. Still seeing a lack in liquidity. It's mostly just due to how high the volatility is. Definitely scaring some people. You can see that momentum is cooling off, like I said earlier. A little bit of buy pressure coming in. See if it can actually gain anything. We haven't been able to hold above a 5-minute high the entire time today. Yeah, Microsoft has the largest drop it has seen since COVID. Silver is going down right now. Silver is down to 112. He had a little bit of a double top on the 30-minute. A little bit of local support on silver around like 110, 111. Losing that gets a bit worse. I think the 100 level is a very key level for silver, not just because it's a nice psychological number, but it also has a pretty good support there. So losing 100 starts to look pretty bad. But if it stays above 100, it should be okay. France was banning Microsoft Teams. Is that one of the bad headlines? Yeah, I wonder how big of a market that is, though. Keep it on the 30-minute close. They are doing a good job repairing this candle. They've nearly repaired the whole thing. They need to be above 62. Hitting the trail here, selling a little bit. $15-minute pivot as well. Daily not looking too good. Putting in a bear div here. Which, like I always say, when there's bear divs or bull divs, you target the trail. That's exactly what it's doing. The trail is nearly being hit at 21. And then if it holds below the trail, then it goes for that second stage. I haven't seen the headline about France. I just saw somebody say it in chat. Okay, so we see all this bounce coming in. We got to keep an eye on... Why are these not connected? There we go. We got to keep an eye on all these VWAPs again. We're hitting VWAP on Apple. And that is it. The solid line right here is VWAP. So we're only hitting it on Apple right now. My other charts are a little bugged today, so I'm not really showing them. The delta is starting to explode to the buy side, though. If I restarted one more time, it would probably fix the charts. But I'm not too worried about it. Still failing that trail here. So the trail and the 24 EMA are used interchangeably. They're pretty much the same level. Funny enough, it's a completely different formula. The trail does not use a moving average formula the same way you would see like an EMA. They just end up being almost the same level, funny enough. If I throw the 24 on here, you can see they're almost the same level. They're calculated very differently. It's just kind of a coincidence. But if you use one, you don't have to use the other. So if you have the trail on here, you basically see where the 24 is. Microsoft is down mostly on cloud growth, slowdown, and huge CapEx guidance. Yeah. Yeah, I saw their guidance didn't look too good from the headlines I saw. What are you using, mister? What demo are you talking about? Good morning, Aquarius. Not sure if I saw you earlier. On TradingView? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't use TradingView for trading. I only use it for charting. TradingView is not known for speed. They have like the bare bones data. They don't have like the most up to date and like fast data that you can get. It's pretty close. It's good enough, but it's not perfect. But I've never used them for trading. I don't like using like third-party plugins for trading. So I don't like tie my Tradevate to TradingView. I would just trade on Tradevate. No, you normally do not have delays if you're on like the actual broker. If you're trading on Tradevate, or if you're trading through something like Addis or NT, they're tied directly in. You don't really have delays. You might have delays like during the open. We saw like a lot of insane price action coming in. When it's being overloaded like that, you might have a little bit of a delay, but not much. It's only on days they have like data issues. Like, was it yesterday or the day before? They were having some issues. Okay, 30-minute close coming up. They tried to repair that candle a little bit too early, and they are getting slapped back down. So single print's going up to 63 in 2 minutes. Yeah, unfortunately for the last like 5 years or so, kind of when retail trading exploded during COVID, the platforms have a little bit of delays, or like they lose their data a little bit during the opens if it's really crazy. It all started with like Robinhood and Webull and all those like penny stock trading just regular stock trading platforms. Once those started blowing up, you started seeing a bit of a delay in the morning sometimes. We're just in a high risk environment. A lot of traders, a lot of bettors, people doing betting, a lot of scalping when it comes to like trading cards like Pokemon, stuff like that. NFTs, all that shit. Just a very high risk market. People trying to multiply what money they have. You're seeing like the largest lotteries you've ever seen as well. Here comes that 30-minute close. Let's take a look at that candle. Just a very one-directional momentum candle here. Yeah, I'm surprised the equities are not getting a little bit of buy pressure here from the commodities coming down. Gold and silver finally having a little bit of a bad day. I mean, if you look at the daily, it's literally like not doing anything. It's not going down at all. It's been going up so much recently. This is like a tiny little piece of it. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not actually, it doesn't matter. We'll see if it continues to go down over the next couple of days. That's the big thing you want to watch. We've had a couple of these sell-offs, these like 5, even 10% sell-offs during this massive move up, and look at silver, it doesn't care. It's still all-time high. It's whether or not they can sustain the sell-off. Yeah, Mr. No Problem, man. Okay, single prints are formed. That is a very large single print zone. We have not left open a single print zone like that for quite some time. The last time we left one open was back on the 20th, and it got filled in immediately, and that was really small. It was only a couple of single prints, not many. We leave open like 1 or 2. That's like the common move right now. So how many do we have right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10. So most likely not going to leave open all 10. There's probably going to be like 3 or 2 of them left open, if any. If it does leave them open, that is a big change in what we are seeing recently. So that would be a really strong sell-off. We are also approaching the government shutdown, so that could be another thing leading us down a little bit. They don't have a deal in place just yet. And I think the last day is what? The end of the month? I think it's like the 31st. Which is basically now. That's Saturday. All of this because of Microsoft? I don't think so. I mean, you're going down on everything. You had earnings on a lot of big names, and they're all going down. I think even Facebook, that was initially going up, is also red. Is it red yet? Let me see. No, it's still up a bit. So it had a massive move up here. You've given up like maybe a quarter of it. Yeah, Microsoft straight down. What else had earnings? Tesla straight down. What else did we have? We had something else. It was Facebook. Yeah, it went up. The market cap of gold and silver is just so crazy. That tiny little drop that we have on gold is a $2.5 trillion market cap that got wiped out. Absolutely insane. You think silver's going to retrace the whole move? You mean retrace the whole move, like the down move, or the whole move, like go back to like $50? Hey, Titus, it's unfortunate to hear, man. Yeah, I'm much better now. I was sick for like 2 weeks. I just had two illnesses back to back. I had just a regular cold that then made me um, get the flu. It weakened my immune system enough for the flu. That's like the longest I've been sick, like consecutively in many years. I'm usually sick for like 3 days, if that, couple days. Yeah, the flu was really bad the last few months. Like every person I knew was getting it. I couldn't help you, Pluto. I don't use pivots like that. Whenever I refer to pivots, I'm referring to the pivots that I created. I'm referring to an indicator that creates pivots for me. I don't use another pivot system. The government shutdown starts on the 31st. Gotcha. That's what I thought. But yeah, man, just drink a lot of water. I was drinking a lot of the I like liquid IVs when I'm sick. The liquid IVs seem to help a lot. Yeah, wind. Funny enough, a lot of people ask me that in chat, and I don't know how I did it. I didn't change my settings or anything crazy. Like my settings are pretty much default except for except for the like you can look through all my settings. You can copy it if you want. But I didn't change anything crazy. This is a big setting right here. I have that one changed to 8. And then your characters, I have my characters ending on N. And then maybe the letter width, that might be a thing. I don't know. Yeah, I get that question a lot, and I don't know how I did it. It's just the normal settings, really. And then I just kind of zoom in. I just have it zoomed in as much as I can. Okay, there's our 37 target, and our next target is 06, which, funny enough, I can't believe I'm saying this. Look at where we're going, guys. The weekly open magnet is doing its job. I did not think that we'd be able to drop 100 points that quickly to get back to that weekly open. But there is the weekly open magnet coming up at 9:04. If you use the close of Friday because you don't like the gap, we are already at the weekly open. Weekly open magnet on NASDAQ is 585. If you use the Friday close, we're already there. I think I need to extend my targets again. Yeah, I do. Okay, second extension of our trade plan. New targets are the weekly open at 585 and 454. Actually crazy that magnet is still working. Targets on ES are 904, the weekly open, and the weekly low at 879. Oh yeah, Pluto, you can use the standard deviations of VWAP. I used to use them quite a lot on stream a couple of years ago. I like them. I think they're a good indicator. I was actually talking about this in one of my tutoring sessions recently. I don't think it's a bad indicator. I just found that I wasn't really using it. It was just kind of on my screen. I wasn't actually using it for entries. I wasn't using it for targets. It was just kind of a point on my screen. So I just took it off. But yeah, if you find a way to use it in your system, in your trading system, then go for it. I think it's a good system. A good indicator, I mean. We have not taken out a 5-minute high basically at all today. You had one little break right here, and then it instantly failed. Well, it's like I said, it's been going up so much on gold and silver. When you have big down moves like this, you always have the people panicking and posting on Twitter like, "Oh my god, this is the crash. It's going back to zero." But we've seen multiple crashes like this on the way up, and it still went up. So you really have to see, is it sustaining that sell pressure? Is it actually holding that sell pressure? Or is it just a little take profit that's just going to go right back up? It's like what you see on the stock market on a daily or weekly time frame, where you have these little pullbacks, but what do? They do nothing. In the grand scheme of things, they do absolutely nothing. It's why it's like one of the main reasons why people love to short, because fear is so powerful. I'm also a short bias trader. I prefer to short. Because when shorts work, today is a great example. When shorts work, they are very easy. It just works. People are just panic selling everything. It's very fast. It's very smooth. But when you see, for example, the last time we hit all-time high, the greed is not as powerful because you constantly see the vertical distribution pattern when you're hitting all-time high, where it goes up, but it chops out a little bit, then it goes up again, then it chops out a little bit, then it goes up again. It's not as smooth. Now, obviously, when you have like those really bullish catalysts and you have like the AI bubble, whatever it may be, and you're just going vertical, there are times that it does that. But more often, the sell side, the fear side, is a lot more obvious. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot faster. Because people are just scared. People are emotional. And they panic sell. That's also why take, was it 2025? Take April 2025, I think it was. Where is it? What year am I in? I'm lost already. All right, here's 26. Here's 25. Here it is. I wasn't going back far enough. What I was saying was, that's also why, it would have helped if I was on the daily chart. Why am I on a 30-minute? Here we go. That's also why, after a ton of panic selling, you see some of the best buying you'll ever see. You had all that panic selling back in like February, March, April of 2025, and then look at the buying that came after it. Best time to be a seller is during that craze, like where people are just panic selling, just absolutely panic selling. You see all those bullshit headlines on Twitter and whatnot. You have that panic sell down. And the best time to be a buyer is right after that, right? When that buy pressure starts really coming in. You don't want to try to knife catch when it's panic selling. But when the buy pressure is very clearly putting in nodes or putting in reversals, you have exceptional buying after that. Which we might see today. We might see that on a 1-minute time frame. We might see the pattern that we saw on the daily on April 2025. That is like the blueprint for panic selling. We might see that today on the 1-minute. We'll see. Another 30-minute candle coming to an end here. We have about halfway of the candle left. We will have single prints going back to 37. Max, it's just a weird question to ask me, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to answer. Like, you can't ask somebody if what they're selling is worth it. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to answer that. Unless you're asking people in chat, that makes more sense. But if you're asking me, I can't really answer that question. I mean, I sell the product. I would like to think that it's worth it. What I will tell you is this is not an opinion. This is just based on data. That's how I like to do everything on my stream. Based on data, once people have been in the Discord for 3 to 6 months, we have an extremely low churn rate. So once they've been established in Discord, once they've tested the indicators, once they've figured out the concepts, once they've tuned into the live stream, a little bit, right? Once they've done a little bit of tutoring, whatever. Our churn rate is extremely low. And that is why I got rid of the monthly. I got rid of the monthly Discord because I noticed a massive discrepancy in my data that showed that if people sign up for 1 month, I had a much higher churn rate. But if they signed up for 3 months or like a year, my churn rate was very, very low. And that just shows that the people that put the time in, that actually want to be in this industry for a little bit longer, they are getting value out of the Discord. And they are hanging out for a very long period of time. I have people in Discord that have been here for going on 6 years now, 7 years. A lot of my members, because we blew up during COVID. COVID was a very big time for trading. So a lot of my members that are long-term members, they've been here since COVID. So like 2020, 2021, 2022. But then I have a very small amount of people that were pre-COVID that watched my stream back in the old days. Yeah, long story short, my churn rate is very low after 3 to 6 months, which tells me that people are finding value. The way that I've established my group, or my I don't know what you would call it, like the flow of my products, I guess you would say, is I have a immense amount of free content. I have one of the largest catalogs of free content on the internet for trading. So I've built an immense amount of free content that I hope will help you guys make money in your trading. And if you're ready to go to that next stage, you can use some of that money to buy the indicators or buy the Discord and go to the next stage, right? If you find value in my free streams, then you can join the Discord. That sort of thing. But that's why I put out so much free content. I know that trading is hard and making money is hard. I try to help you guys make as much money for free as possible. But I also value my time, and I put a lot of hours into this stuff. Yeah, that was a long-winded version of how to answer your question, I guess. We have 7 minutes left. Single prints back to 37. Yeah, people have different reasons for joining the Discord too. Like some people do it just for the indicators. They find value in all the indicators. Some people do it just to listen to the stream all day. Some people do it for the tutoring. Five-minute high is still being protected every single candle here. No change in structure. What does a typical tutoring session look like? It depends on the person. So the very first tutoring session, I try to figure out what stage in your trading you're in. Are you in the stage of like, you just need to trade as much as possible and test out many different things and figure out what you like? Like, do you like volume profile? Do you like price action trading? Are you a scalper? Are you more of a day trader? That sort of thing. So the first one is kind of like an introduction. I try to figure out which stage you're in. What are your pain points? Like, what's the main reason why you're struggling? And then from that point, I try to focus on those pain points. We try to get rid of those. We slowly get rid of what is holding you back. I analyze like what you're good at, what you're bad at. We try to focus on obviously doing more of what you're good at and just cutting out all the negatives. So after the first one, it's a lot of trade reviewing. I just tell you guys to take trades and take screenshots and journal them and take a lot of notes. And then we go over them in the tutoring sessions, and I tell you, like, okay, this is why this one's not very good. This is how you could make it better. Your risk reward's not good here. You missed this clear signal of why you shouldn't have taken the trade. All that stuff. And we always have the benefit of hindsight when we're doing tutoring, which is why I tell people when they're taking like screenshots, when they're journaling their trades for the trade reviews, you need to take a screenshot like right when you get in the trade so I can analyze what you were looking at without all the extra information that happened afterwards. And then I also try to always come back to the things that I teach in the videos. Everything that's set in stone. I'm not just making something up right there on the spot. I'm referring back to a system that I've been teaching for years. It's the same thing every day. It's like looking at a rollover top trade or looking at a bear flag in a VWAP trade. I'm not making that shit up on the fly. I've been saying the same thing for 10 years. It just depends on what you have access to. If you have access to Discord, you should have, I don't know the exact number, but there's a lot of indicators. There's 3 main ones that we use every day. It's these two, the OTS and the Momo, and then the bots, which I have on my other monitor. But on this monitor, they're right here. The bots are really good on trendy days like this. All the other indicators are things that I built over the years that are supplemental. Yeah, you should have more than 3. Check your invite-only scripts. You should have more than 3 coming from Oasis Trading. If you don't have more than 3, send me a message in Discord with your email for the website and your TradingView username, and I'll check what the problem is. Still waiting on this 30-minute close. 2 minutes left, going up to 37 for single prints. You only have access to the bots? You should have more, so send me a message in Discord, and I'll get it fixed. Good morning, Tom. I mean, that's a prime example of the weekly open magnet strategy right there, and that's kind of insane that we are seeing it play out this week. But that right there is why we watched that weekly open on an FOMC week. The blue dashed line here, the teal line, that's the weekly open. Oh, that might be why. So you might have already had a membership in our system, and we didn't add you to the newer sign up. So just send me your information on Discord. I'll get it fixed. Look at where we are, like, to the tick. It's kind of ridiculous. Those weekly opens are so strong. So if we close very weak today, this will be by far the most single prints we've left open in a very long time. We are typically only leaving like 2 to 3 left open, maybe 1. And today, if they don't fill these in, we'll have like 20 left open. How long do I normally trade for the day? I'm here from open to close every day. Now, most of my trades are in the morning. So most of my trades are from 9:30 to 11:30. And then I have 1 or 2 trades in the afternoon, depending on how we're looking in the afternoon. But yeah, every single day I'm here from open to close. This is my my full time. Let's check the delta, even though it's a little bugged today. A lot of delta coming in. So normally what we say with delta trends is if the delta is trending very aggressively against price, as long as that trend continues, the delta trend typically wins. I say typically because it's trading. It's a stats game, right? But more often than not, that delta does win. So if this continues to trend against price into the afternoon, look out for a closing spike to the upside. Now, the times that it doesn't win, it's rare, but the times that it doesn't win, it's very obvious that it's not winning because the delta starts to let go on a massive scale. It basically gives up all this delta right away. It will just start nuking in delta. So look out for that. Gotcha, Titus. Yeah, I'll get it resolved as soon as the stream is over. What is my motivation? Well, it's a job, right? So the money is the motivation, really. But other than the money, I just I liked just working for myself. I liked just being my own independent person. I like challenges. Like I like that trading is hard. I like that it's consistently hard. Like every single day is kind of a new challenge. Yeah, better than selling AC. Yeah, so that's what I did before I got into trading. Is I used to sell HVAC. I just saved up a decent amount of money selling HVAC. Got into I was already trading at the time, but I wasn't doing it like full time. And I used that chunk of money to get really heavily into futures and crypto. And I had really good timing because the crypto market was exploding at the time. So I was able to multiply my money very quickly, which allowed me to trade other things. And everything's kind of history from that point. I had very good timing. I took advantage of it. I made sure to like really focus on trading because I knew that it was a good market and it wasn't gonna last forever. So I squeezed like every bit of juice I could out of that market. I mean, we were streaming like 16 hours a day back then if you guys are OGs. Yeah, HVAC, like air conditioning, heating, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't come from money. Like I had to work for every dollar I've ever made. So I've just enjoyed the grind of trading. I think it's very challenging. I think it's very rewarding when you do it right. It's nice being independent, not having to rely on a whole structure of a normal job. It also just plays to my strengths. I'm a very logical person. I was getting into like coding and stuff like that, so I can use coding for trading as well. I'm competitive. I used to play a lot of video games, right? The market is kind of competitive. It just kind of fits. Keep it on the 5-minute highs. If you start taking those out, we might start grabbing some of these single prints. Is there a wall? Let me see. I don't really see. Oh, yeah, I do see it. 175. 1.25, 150. A lot of sales coming in. Yeah, it happens to a lot of traders where they're just kind of like tired of their normal 9 to 5 and they give it a try, and if it works, right? I don't ever recommend. That's why I don't like talking about my trading story or my trading journey, because it goes against everything that I recommend. I don't recommend like quitting your life, like quitting college, quitting your job to go trade, because it's not going to work for the vast majority of people. It's extremely risky. It's probably more risky than it's worth. It just worked out for me because everything lined up and I just took advantage of it. I am not the norm, right? I got very lucky. I had the very strong bull market of crypto. And then after the crypto market, we had like the COVID market pretty soon after that. And the COVID market was extremely, um, I was going to say easy, but easy is not the word that I'm looking for. Rewarding, I guess you would say. Like if you were able to, same thing with the crypto market. If you were able to grab onto that, it was extremely rewarding. We had days in Discord, we had like 50 plus, 60 plus people in voice chat, and we were all just like buying the close, selling the open. Like it was that stupid. The money during COVID was just really stupid money. We were trading penny stocks that were making 100% every day. We had a week where we had a 400% gain on our penny stock account because we had 4 days in a row where the penny stocks were doing over 100% gain. The market was just really, really stupidly rewarding. I always make the joke of like monkey see, monkey do, like type of trading, like the monkey brain trading. And that was the monkey brain market, where you didn't have to think too hard about it. And honestly, if you thought too hard about it, you were actually hurting yourself. The people who just turned their brain off and absolutely monkey brained it, they were making more money. And that's why GameStop and AMC and all those meme stocks were doing so well, because people just monkey brained it. They didn't care. You just threw money at it and said whatever. Now, the problem with monkey brain trading is all that money that those people make, they lose it instantly. So you need to be able to make the money, but then turn off the monkey brain and actually start thinking about shit and preserving your money. Now, the market right now, sadly, is not that easy. It's pretty hard. The market right now is in a weird place where I wouldn't say it's like monkey brain, like very rewarding, very easy money, but it is full of opportunities. Like we have the gold and silver shit right now. Like look at that opportunity. If you got on board that train, you're very happy. And then you had like the AI companies that were doing really well. And then you had like this sector after sector after sector have been performing very, very well. But it's not the market as a whole. You have to be in the right sector at the right time. So it's not as easy as it was during COVID, because COVID, it did not matter. You could literally throw a dart at the stock heat map and throw your entire account into it, and you would make money. Finally starting to see some buy pressure here, mostly on, let me go to the 1 minute here, mostly on Google. Nice little bounce on Google. Higher low on Tesla. Higher low on Apple. Higher low on Facebook. Not doing too bad here. Keep an eye on the trails. Keep an eye on the VWAPs. 5 minute highs finally starting to be taken out. Watch those single prints on the way up. Yeah, exactly, Sid. That's the kind of people that I'm talking about. Like, and I don't say like monkey brain like they're idiots. I mean like they're just like normies when it comes to trading. So it's like when you go to work and you have your buddy Bob who's talking about buying gold and he's doing so well on gold. Well, Bob, in like a year or two, all that money's going to be gone. Because they don't actually know what they're doing. They're just kind of in the right place at the right time. It's that brain off form of trading. Come on, Lucio. I'm sure you see it a lot with the GameStop and the AMC traders. If you guys had any friends that made a bunch of money on that a couple of years ago, they probably lost all that money. And the sad part about trading is they probably lost all that money and more because they got addicted to that dopamine kick that they got from making all that money on the way up. So they lost it all, and then they threw more money in and lost more money. Keep an eye on the trail here at 40. That is our first green trail flip of the entire day. This is the first time we've been able to stay above that trail and the ADMA the entire day. 5 minute highs being taken out for the first time the entire day. Second single print zone being filled in. DWAC. Is DWAC, was that the Trump one? Or am I thinking of something else? That was another time that the market was just stupid money. Was the SPAC craze. We were trading a lot of those SPACs in Discord. Those are the guys we make money from. Sadly, that is the case most of the time. A lot of the times that we see these like panic sell moves or moves that make a lot of money, it's because people are just losing a lot of money. They're not doing what they should be doing. That's why the sweep pattern works, right? The sweep pattern that we constantly teach. That pattern is a retail slayer, right? A lot of that money you're making off the sweep pattern is from people trading in the worst place they possibly could be trading. Yeah, imagine if people made all that money on GameStop and they just took all that money and did the easiest thing possible and just threw it into SPY or Qs. They'd be up like, I don't know, how much is the market up since then? Over 100% or something? Something crazy. Yeah, 140% if they took all that money and just threw it into an ETF. They could have even gone safer than that because it was a very high yield market. And during a high yield market, you could just throw it into a money market account or throw it into treasuries. And they would have made decent money. So I'm bringing all this up. I went into this long ass rant. We started talking about panic selling. I went into this long ass rant because I see you guys in chat every day, and you guys keep talking about silver and gold. And I know this is going to happen to at least one of you guys in here, where you just get caught up in this crazy market. You might have made a lot of money on silver and gold, and then it just starts absolutely dumping, and you lose all your money you made. Or you're in the other boat, where you do take profit, and you get that dopamine kick of how much money you made on silver or gold, and then you just throw it away. If you made a lot of money during like a sector move like that, just throw it into something a lot safer. Maybe give yourself a little allowance to trade with if you want to take some risky plays. It's like I was talking about the other day. I was saying that I have very little patience during tax season. And I usually ban a lot of people during tax season because I'm pissed off all the time. The thought process is the same. It's because I work my ass off for my money, right? Trading is extremely difficult. And then we see it all, not all of it, we see a massive chunk of it go to waste during tax season. So all that money you worked hard for, 30%, whatever, is gone. That's the same with just normal trading. When you have moves like gold and silver, you make all this money, you worked your ass off to make that money, and then you throw it into something stupid and it's all gone. Okay, here's that old 1 minute pivot failing to the tick so far. Let's see if we can stay above these EMAs, the 80 EMA and the trail. This goes back to what I said earlier about how we do not leave open massive chunks of single prints like this. We are filling in the bottom chunk. Still have that really big chunk going up to 63. Oh yeah, Floria, I'm not going to get into that whole side of the debate of like taxes are good, taxes are bad, all that shit. I'm just talking about emotionally. When you start making a lot of money trading and you start seeing 30% or whatever percentage it is that you're paying going to taxes, you don't feel too good about that. Yeah, and that's just talking about the US taxes. Some of you guys in Europe, you're losing 50, 60%. And then some people in the Cayman Islands or wherever you guys are, you guys don't pay anything. So I don't talk about taxes, one, because it's miserable to talk about. But two, it's the same reason why I don't talk about money on the channel. I have so many viewers that are in different places around the world, it's pointless to talk about. Because every situation is completely different. And also, complaining about taxes when you're a trader is kind of like, it's kind of like complaining about winning. Because you're only paying taxes as a trader because you're making money trading, which is already very difficult. So it doesn't come off very good to people that are struggling to trade when you're complaining about paying taxes. So I try not to do it too much. But it is tax season, so it's going to come up every now and then. Okay, breaking through that 1 minute pivot, keep an eye on that trail on the 5 minute. And then we have the VWAP test. First VWAP test of the entire day if you don't include the one that happened right at the open. These two lines right here are VWAP. The white line is the daily VWAP, the yellow line is the session VWAP. Yeah, exactly, Ranger, exactly. Then you're paying data fees and all that. It sucks, right? It's not as easy as, oh, I made $1,000 on this trade. That $1,000 turns into $300 very quickly. Okay, the lower section of single prints has been filled in. We still have single prints going back to 63, which is basically VWAP. Caliber, I just saw your question. The A session cannot physically be single prints. You cannot have single prints until the C session opens at 10:30. Okay, here is that 5 minute trail. So the same thing that I say about the 1 minute goes for the 5 minute, where if you're looking for like a bounce trade, you're always targeting that trail as like the initial bounce. Then if you can hold above that, you go for that second stage, like that impulse. So we have a little impulse on the 1 minute. We don't have that on the 5 minute. 5 minute is staying below that responsive moving average or the trail. This seems like it's mostly just bouncing off the weekly open. The weekly open did its job beautifully. One of the strongest weekly open magnets we've seen in a very long time. It was able to pull it back over 100 points. And now we are finding buy pressure on that weekly open, which is also the value of Wednesday as well. But yeah, absolutely disgusting how strong that weekly open was. Pulling it back almost 1,000 points on NASDAQ, which is kind of crazy. I think it was like 700, 800 points. Still not hitting VWAP on any of the bigger names here. Kinda hit it on Apple, little wick there. I mean, look at the formation. They all look like bear flags. So it's hard to trust this is a decent bounce until we hold above VWAP. Hey, Evie, have a good day, man. I don't talk about stuff like that, Sleepy. I don't talk about my personal trading very much on this channel. I don't talk about my personal life or trading very much on this channel. I try not to fall into the trap of becoming an influencer. I'm just here talking about markets and you guys are hanging out because you enjoy it, I guess. For the longest time when I first started streaming, not to go into another rant, I don't know why we've been podcasting all day today, sorry about that. But for the longest time when I first started streaming, I always thought I had to prove myself like just constantly. And it just became just so stressful. It's just never ending. It's just like every single new viewer that came in, I had to prove myself to that viewer because they haven't seen it before. So I had to show them winning trades. I had to show them my live trades. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm just tired of doing this shit. I'm tired of constantly having to prove myself every single time my channel grows. Because it literally is never ending. The more my channel grows, the more new people come into the stream, the more I have to prove myself. And it will never end. As long as my channel is growing, it will keep happening. And I don't want to live that life. I got tired of that shit really quickly. If that was like a 100% requirement to stream, I would not stream anymore. Like if I had nobody watching me because I didn't show my trades, I just wouldn't stream anymore. I would just do my own thing, do my journal how I used to do it, and call it a day. But thankfully, I've built a community that doesn't care. You guys don't need to be, you don't need me to prove myself every single day. I knew once people started asking for like my statements and stuff, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like once people started wanting to see like the yearly statements, the monthly statements, like show me your tax statements, like it's just never ending. I'm gonna pass on that one. It's a very simple business that we're in. If you guys think that I'm full of shit and I don't know what I'm talking about, just press that X button and find somebody else. It's like I always say, my favorite formula, right? Time in, value out. If you put in time watching my stream or watching my content, if it's not providing value, then cut it out of your life. Starting to roll over a little bit here. Not a perfect rollover top, but definitely seeing a lower high there. Put in a higher high, didn't like it, and then lower high. We'll see if we lose this trail here. All right, guys, we're coming to that time, 11:30. Are we doing a giveaway today? Okay, we're already above 100 likes. I appreciate that, guys. We will do a giveaway. Let me go ahead and get that ready. All right, guys, same giveaway as always. It's going to be for an Apex account. It's going to give you a free account for 30 days, any size you want. Just put in the promo code. We'll give you that account for free for that first month. We're going to be doing 1 through 50. Just pick a random number, 1 through 50. Only pick one number. If you pick multiple numbers, I'm just going to ban you. It's very simple. Just pick one number. If there is a tie, I will do a tiebreaker. If you guys are heading out before the giveaway, I appreciate you being here. Hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you guys enjoy the content. Apex is doing a 90% off sale, which, by the way, you only have a couple days left to send me your raffle tickets if you guys used code BREW in January. So any accounts in January, as long as they're 50K size or higher. If you use code BREW, just send me those receipts to this email right here. admin@oasistrading.io, and I will give you guys raffle tickets. So it's 1 ticket per 50K, so if it's 100K, it's 2 tickets, whatever. Cash prizes through PayPal and Discord prizes as well. And by the way, if you guys are already Discord members, you guys can still participate. You can either win the cash prize, or I'll just extend your access of Discord. We do these raffles every single month. Last year we did them every month except for December because we had a much larger giveaway. We did a laptop giveaway. Yeah, be sure to send those to me before Saturday night. I'm going to be pulling it on Sunday. Pick one number, 1 through 50. Only pick one number. I'll give you guys another minute. Hey, Ray, I just saw your message. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, we got a lot of lurkers. That's usually how streams go, where you have like maybe 10, 20% of your viewers, if that are chatters, that are people that keep the chat going. And the rest of the people are just doing something else. They're working, or they just don't like to chat. So if you guys are lurkers, I appreciate you guys being here as well. It's good to have the chatters, because if we didn't have that 10 or 20%, I'd have like nothing to talk about all day, except for trading, right? It'd be a little bit more boring than it already is. Oh, so you found out the trick you said with the TPO profile, you have to set it to the proportion to manual and then zoom out with your mouse. Okay, I don't remember doing that, but I'm doing the mouse thing for sure. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and pull it here. I'll give you like 10 more seconds. Last chance. Right now, the last number that I see is music. So everybody above music is good. Okay, this first roll, music, you are the last number that I see. Number is 38. Let me know if you won. I'll double check your chat history. It makes it a lot easier. Number is 38. So I'm going to look myself, but also just let me know if I miss you. I see every number but 38. I swear this number generator is tied directly into the stream. I don't see a 38. If I missed you, please let me know. I'll give you 10 more seconds. If you put 38, let me know. If not, I'm going to roll again. All right, good luck. Rolling again. 11, I do see an 11. I see you, Mo. Are there any other 11s? I like 11 because it's easy to find. I think it's just you, Mo. Is somebody else choosing 11? I think it's just Mo. Are you still here, Mo? By the way, the trail is holding. If we're able to hold above this trail, keep an eye on VWAP coming up very soon. Awesome, I see you, Mo. Yeah, I think you're the only one, Mo, so I think you win by default. No tiebreaker. So here's my email, Mo. Send me an email to let me know what your YouTube name is that you won the contest. Let me make sure I type that right. Giveaway.dejaretrading@gmail.com. That should be good. So send me an email. Just let me know what your YouTube name is, and I'll send you a random number to confirm in chat. If you guys are heading out, I appreciate you guys being here. Be on the lookout for VWAP. If we break through VWAP, keep an eye on those single prints. It's pretty much the same level. So if we do hit the session VWAP, you will also be filling in pretty much all of the single prints. This goes back to what we talked about like an hour ago. I went on that long rant about panic selling, and I was talking about how that pattern on the daily, on the April timeframe of ES, or just the stock market as a whole, maybe we would see that on a 1 minute today, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. We have that panic selling coming to an end and very quickly sending the buyers back up. If you guys are heading out, I will be streaming for the rest of the day in Discord. If you're not in Discord, I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me see if you sent me an email, Mo. I don't see your email yet. Let me check my spam. Yeah, I don't see your email yet, so go ahead and send it. I need to confirm your email in chat so I can type a random number for you. I've just been doing it for so long, Bob. It's just kind of like second nature. It was very difficult in the beginning when I started streaming and trading. I would miss a lot of trades because I would just be talking to chat too much. But over the years, I've just figured out how to adapt my trading for streaming. And it's actually improved my trading a lot because it made me slow down. So now I take only a couple trades a day, and I take them and I hold on to them for a lot longer because I don't want to be sitting here just actively trading over and over and over again. Because I'm watching chat, I'm watching Discord, whatever. So it's actually like it's helped me as a trader. It's made me a bit more patient. And also over the years, just like adding on more monitors. Like right now I have my trading on an iPad. It just makes it very easy to stream and trade at the same time. But yeah, it's overall been a net positive for my trading, not a net negative. There are definitely times that I miss trades still, like to this day. I'll miss trades because I'm explaining something, I'm ranting or something. But But it's not like all the time. It's pretty rare. It's really easy for me to just multitask. Like while I'm talking, I can press one button on my iPad and take a trade. It also helps that it's touchscreen. It's basically just like a hotkey system. Let me check again, Mo. Did you send me an email? I still don't see it. Mo, I need you to send me an email so I can send you the promo code. If you don't email me in the next like minute or two, I have to do the raffle again. All right, guys, stick around because if he doesn't send me an email, I will have to re-roll. I would hate to do that, but I'm not seeing an email. I'll give him like, what time is it now? 42? I'll give him like 2 or 3 more minutes. Keep it on VWAP, guys. 46 and 58. It would be a shame if it failed the daily VWAP because the session VWAP lines up with the single prints. Yeah, don't start typing numbers yet. I'd really hate to re-roll it. I'd feel bad, but I physically cannot send him the prize if I don't have his email. All right, Mo, I'll give you until 44. You've got 1 minute left. I really hate to re-roll, but I will have to. Or at least say something in chat, like why are you busy or something? If you're busy at work and you need a little bit more time, I can wait until probably like tomorrow's stream or something. All right, Mo, last 10 seconds. Let me know in chat what's going on. And everybody else get ready to pick another number. Let me get the giveaway ready again. Not sure what happened. That's a first time for these giveaways. All right, so now we have a lot fewer viewers in here. So let's do 1 through 30 this time. 1 through 30. So go ahead and retype your numbers if you want. We're going to do 1 through 30. I know a lot of viewers headed out already. Yeah, still no email, so I do have to re-roll, unfortunately. So 1 through 30, guys. I didn't roll this, so ignore the 4. That was just the one that came up. And please, if you guys win, you need to have your emails ready. If these giveaways become a headache, I'm just going to stop doing them. Pick one number, guys. One number, 1 through 30. 1 through 30, not 50 this time. Only pick one number. If I see multiple, I will ban you. All right, this is going to be a short one. I'm going to give you guys another 30 more seconds or so, then I'm rolling it. Still holding the trail. You are putting in a little bit of a lower high, though. All right, good luck, guys. Please have your email ready. Lucky number 2. Lucky number 2. Sorry, last name is AV. I do see a 2. I see you, Jed. Is there anybody else? I think you're the only one. Let me know if you guys pick 2. I'll double check your chat history. I think it's just you. I think you got it. All right, I'll give you guys 10 seconds. If you picked number 2 and I missed you, let me know. If not, here is my email if you still need it. Just send me an email with your YouTube name, and I'm going to send you a random number to type in chat. So I can make sure you're not cheating. All right, keep it on VWeb, guys. 46 and 58. Starting to push that 5-minute trail. Well, I was thinking about it. I really was. We'll see how the afternoon plays out. I don't think there's enough to recap in the morning. There's really not a lot to recap in the morning because it's just one smooth move down. But I would like to recap like the reversal. We'll see what happens in the afternoon. If the afternoon gives us enough to recap, I might make one today. But as of right now, this would be like a 3-minute video. There's just not a lot to talk about. All right, let me see if you are sending me an email. I still don't see it. Let me know when you sent it. I know this giveaway system's a little bit clunky, but unfortunately it's like the only way I can do it. Because I have to give you guys like promo codes and I can't just post a promo code in chat. And I don't think, is there a way for me to direct message people on YouTube? I don't think there is. There's no way for me to like click on your name and like send you a direct message. Gotcha. Yeah, I got your email. All right, let me send you a random number here. And then just type that number in chat so I know it's you. Awesome. Okay, we got there. Okay, so the next email you see from me will be your promo code. So the promo code, you just go sign up for any account on Apex like you normally would, and then put that in the promo code section. It'll be free for 30 days, then it will go back to charging you normally. So if you don't pass it in 30 days, just go back to the brew code. Which, by the way, guys, is still 90% off right now. Cheaper resets, all that stuff. Until next Wednesday. All right, one last reminder before we go. Just be sure to send your raffle emails to this email. Not the giveaway email, the admin email. admin@oasistrading.io. If you use code BREW in January, just send your receipts over to that email. I'll get you guys added to the raffle. All right, guys. I'm heading out. I'll be in Discord for the rest of the day. If you guys are in Discord, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody. Be on the lookout for VWAP, by the way. We're getting real close. All right, peace.